One, two, three, go. What is happening new guys? Welcome back to my video. For today video guys, wala tayong kahit anong laro kung manonood tayo ng video. Sa katulad ng Minecraft, nagluluto at naka-wifi tayo. At hindi yan papanoodin natin. Punta tayo dito sa library. At itong papanoodin natin, hardcore Minecraft. Let's go.
Today's one block videos, but this one is a little bit different. This is because we're doing it with two people instead of one. And we're also doing it in hardcore mode. So if either of us die once, it's all over. Will we both be able to survive? This was the entire video over before we'd even started. And finally we managed to...
At guys, maririnig nyo lang ang ito lang video na to. Let's go.
I'll jump perfectly and break the first block. Soon after, we both had a block to stand on and we could just break the block safely. We then managed to get our first bits of wood and our first sapling. And of course, we crafted up some slabs and extended our island. It was getting a little bit less scary. And then out of nowhere, our friend the pig spawned. I think we decided to name him Donald. And it was nice to have another friend. We continued to break the block and expand our island. We also began construction on a nice little pen for Donald. Then a very loving chest appeared, so we broke it and we had already completed the first phase of the block. Now it was on to phase one, the plains phase. Just before it went dark, we planted our first tree and we're happy with the progress so far. We decided to rest overnight and discuss what our 3 goals for these 100 days would be. And by the morning of day 2, we had our 3 goals. Our first goal was to complete all 10 phases of the block. This was going to take a lot. Our third goal was to get an iron farm going, as otherwise iron would be a very hard resource to get. And with our 3 goals in mind, let's hop into day 2. On the morning of day 2, we completed Donald's pen, and we were getting some weird blocks like melons and clay. We then proceeded to expand our tree farm, and we got a friend for Donald. And of course, we decided to name him Donald's friend. We're so good at naming things. Donald's friend didn't really want to go in the pen, but eventually we managed to cram him in there. Our island was looking a bit weird, but it was starting to come together. Later on in the day, we got our first cow, and I was very tempted to murder him. But I decided not to, as if I did, gamers would probably murder me. This was also the day our first tree grew, which was very exciting, and we were happy to get the wood. We also got some seeds and made a nice little farm to plant them. By the end of day 2, we had a small pen filled with lots of animals. So we decided to chill with them at night to keep them company. If this video gets 100,000 likes, we'll do 200 days. So make sure to like the video if you want to see 200 days. Let's on with the video. By day 3, we had enough saplings to fully complete our tree farm. So naturally, we decided to extend it so we could get more trees in the future. I also decided to craft up some melon seeds and plant them in our new farm. We also got a berry out of a chest, and I was so excited to plant it that I planted it in the wrong place. And kind of stupidly, I just broke it without thinking, and it didn't drop. That was the only berry we would ever get in this one block world, so that was not too smart, and gamers wasn't very happy with me. And then later on in the day, I threw an egg at the cow for no reason, and sadly we didn't even get a chicken out of it. The rest of the day was filled with breaking blocks for me, and gamers was breaking leaves. By the end of day 3, our tree farm was getting pretty massive, and by that I mean we had about 12 trees, so not that massive, but pretty massive. On day 4, gamers egged a sheep. We danced on the crops to make them grow faster, although gamers did take it a bit too far. We then proceeded to absolutely melt the block and cram more and more chickens into the tiny pen. After all that chicken cramming, we decided it was time for an upgrade, so I crafted myself up some nice wooden tools. We then extended the farm, and I spotted a chicken trying to escape, so I gladly pushed him to his death. Bye bye chicken. The night of day 4 was spent chopping down trees, getting some wood. Day 5 started off eating some melon in front of a bunch of sheep, and this was actually the first time I had eaten anything in this world. We then decided our pen was looking pretty overcrowded, so we made the choice to make a new pen that was a lot bigger for all of our animals to enjoy. But we ran out of dirt, and whilst breaking the block to get more dirt, a block upgrade happened. And before we knew it, we were onto phase 2, the underground. This phase came with a warning about monsters, and we got very scared. To save our dirt, we put a grass block in the pen and filled the rest of it up with wood, because at the moment we weren't too worried about it looking good. That was for later. We then struggled to get all the animals into the pen. It literally took all night, and we just managed to do it. However, some very annoying animals that didn't go in at all just had to be murdered. And after cleaning up the old pen, that was day 5 done. I started off day 6 by making some baby chickens. Then we harvested the crops and got our first carrots and wheat. Then finally we mined our first pieces of stone. And before I knew it, I had a stone pickaxe. We then continued to mine through this phase of the block and got some ores along the way. Then out of nowhere, a wild mushroom spawned. So we tried to cram him into the pen, but a cow escaped. However, I was him back into the pen. 1% of you are actually